Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And just, 10 minutes ago, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers closed us out in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. It was a fun couple hours, lots of surprises, lots of guys that went higher than we expected, lots of guys that went lower than we expected, and some guys that are still on the board that we thought would be gone by now. So certainly lots to digest. We'll discuss a lot of the big trades, the big surprises. So, we can really get started anywhere here.
Oh, we're gonna just go from the top all the way down and go through each pick.
And we have a lot of feelings about this, so we'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah. Quickly, let's just go through number 1 and number 2. We all knew what was coming. It was Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars and Zach Wilson to the Jets. That was just confirming what we already believed.
It was still kind of stressful to watch, though.
I mean, it was.
I had no doubt in my mind.
I had no doubt either, but it was just like the feeling of that moment.
Well, yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, and then the feeling at pick number 3. San Francisco 49ers selected Trey Lance. We have a live video of us reacting to that. We'll post it later on our Instagram, so if you want to go check that out.
Follow the Instagram at the Touchdown Table. No caps, no spaces. Good stuff.
An incentive to go check that out. We've talked about that heavily on the channel. You guys were Trey Lance. I was on Mack Jones. Still happy to see that. I've said on the channel multiple times before, I think Trey Lance with the 49ers are great pairing. And even though I had him as my 5th-ranked quarterback, I said if he was a team like the 49ers, he has the potential to be one of the top quarterbacks in this draft class. I was just a bit worried because he could have ended up on other teams that wouldn't have gone well for him. The 49ers, though, I think that's going to be a beautiful pairing.
Yeah, going into this draft, this was certainly the most anticipated pick in all of our eyes and really me. Now, I say going into the draft because trades made other picks anticipating. Hint, hint. Bears fans over here, if you don't know. So we'll get to that soon. We have our thoughts on that. But, yeah, that was one that me and Ryan, I said it, I don't know if it was on the video or not, but I don't think me and Ryan have ever hugged before, and we ended up hugging that one.
We were very excited. Pure emotion. It's not even our team. Just imagine how 49ers fans are feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So
especially since they really didn't want Mack Jones, it seemed like.
Yeah. I would not have been very anti-Mack Jones. I just thought Trey Lance was better, and I think his ceiling is much higher. I don't think Mack Jones would have been a bad pick. I don't think Mack Jones is going to be a bust, but we'll get to him and his destination in a little bit.
Yeah. All right, now let's move on. Kyle Pitts went to the Falcons. That was another one where most of us expected it. Yeah. It was still a bit nerve-wracking because they could have traded out of the pick or whatever it was, but Kyle Pitts they went with. We feel like that was a good choice. Then we went to pick number 5, the Bengals, another mix-up for us. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow said that's who he wanted. They listened to him. The pairing is going to be cool. We said, we're excited for that. Still thought it should have been Penei Sewell. Mm-hmm. But Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow is going to be fun to watch back together.
Well, yeah, Jamar Chase is a great player. Nothing wrong with picking him that high. I think that I know wide receivers, especially, we'll see another wide receiver soon that went higher than we expected. But in this draft style that we've got into the past couple of years, quarterbacks and wide receivers do tend to go up pretty high just because those skill level positions are things that teams need. And so with this one, it makes sense. But also, your quarterback, your franchise quarterback, the guy who's going to lead your franchise for hopefully decades, or maybe not decades, but unless you're Tom Brady, hopefully this guy, you want him to stay healthy. And for that, you need to have linemen to block for him. I understand why you want to get him Chase, reunite him with his old LSU pal. That's cool and all. I think that's going to be a great connection next year. However, I think line was just a bit more important for the team overall, keeping Joe Burrow safe. But they made a decision, and with that being said, I'm excited to see this connection next year. So.
Yeah, it'll be cool to watch at least. I don't think any of us completely agree with the decision, but I think it will
I had cool. Jamar Chase as my 5th-ranked player in the draft. Penei Sewell was the number 4 ahead of him, so that was really the thing. It was so close, but I still think Penei Sewell would have been better for the Bengals. Let's move on to pick number 6.
At pick 5, we see their team listening to the quarterback and going wide receiver. At pick 29, we don't see that.
We will get there. Miami Dolphins next. I said this during my mock draft, and I said it multiple times. I thought that the Miami Dolphins had a guy they were set on. It wasn't Jamar Chase because they wanted to trade back and just get him no matter what. That seemed to be the case because they went with Jalen Waddle at pick number 6. All three of this table agree that it was a reach. Ryan, you had him as your 5th-ranked wide receiver. I had him as my 4th-ranked wide receiver, but they thought speed kills, and they went for Jalen Waddle, pick number 6.
Well, next year's draft, if there's anyone that can run fast, draft them high in your mock drafts because that's just the way teams look.
Yeah.
Look, they're getting themselves a heck of a player. I like Waddle, I like his speed, and he also is a good route runner as well.
This is like the first real whoa.
Yeah.
But the thing is with them, they already have some good wide receivers, just added Will Fuller. So I understand why you want to get that weapon for Tua, but there could have been other needs there. However, again, maybe not what I would have done, but I'm excited to see the connection and they are reuniting. Waddle, and Tua.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just went up to Tua and said, hey, Devontae or Jalen, who do you want? I mean, who knows? But, yeah, I think this one was the first real reach tonight.
7, it was pretty obvious what the Lions should have done, and they did it. Penei Sewell was the right pick. He fell to them. That one's pretty simple. We won't spend too much time on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he fell in their laps, fell past the Bengals and Miami. Not something that a lot of people thought would happen, but it did, and the Lions, pounced on the opportunity.
Another one where we were like, huh? Okay, J.C. Horn going to the Panthers. It was funny. Ian Rappaport went on just before and said the pick was going to be J.C. Horn. So clearly,
yeah,
he
said J.C. Horn or Fields or something.
And we were like, what?
Yeah. Where was this 2 hours ago? But obviously, he can't leak certain stuff, probably.
So it was J.C. Horn. Clearly liked him, Ryan. He was your number one cornerback. He has that type of skill. They went with him at number 8.
I'm just glad it wasn't a quarterback.
Yeah, that would have been
Sam Darnold. It would have been just rude to him. And they needed defense, so not bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, I know Carolina went all defense last year, but I thought the first 4 corners went in the right order as far as my rankings are concerned. So it was a nice thing for me to see a J.C. Horn be the first corner off the board. I thought that's what he deserved to be. I just really liked the way he played the game. Very aggressive, prevented separation. He's covered some NFL-type receivers already in college, and he's put up great numbers against them, limiting them. So certainly happy for J.C. Horn. I thought he should have been the first corner off, and he ends up being the first defensive player taken.
All right, next up was Patrick Surtain to the Broncos. A lot of had him being mocked to the Cowboys. Broncos decided to pounce on him first. And then that's probably what caused the Cowboys to trade back with the Eagles, because they probably wanted Surtain, or maybe they just felt confident with the guy they were going to get. So the Eagles traded up to pick number 10, picking Devonta Smith. We all agree this was a good pick for him.
Yeah, I like the trade. I know when we first saw it, we were like, what? But once I really got a chance to digest it, they only gave up a third round pick, Yeah, they only moved up 2 spots, but they leapfrogged the Giants, who I really do believe, I think the Giants would have taken Devonta Smith if he was there at 11. I think the Eagles thought that too. They traded up in front of a division rival and with another division rival. Get your receiver, get the right guy this time. I think Devonta Smith is a fantastic playmaker. Obviously, he's crossed paths with Jalen Hurts before at Alabama when Hurts was there. So I think it's a bold move by the Eagles. But at the end of the day, you had a lot of draft capital going in. You've already got an extra first-round pick next year. So giving up a third-round pick to ensure you get your guy is not something that's bad, in my opinion. I like it.
Yeah, I've got no problem with Smith. I think he deserved to go this high or higher. He won Heisman, for God's sakes, last year. So give this guy some credit. But just the thing with the Eagles, I know they need wide receiver help. They lost some guys, but I feel like there's other needs they could have filled. I don't think a wide receiver is going to change their team, even if they do build more people somehow throughout the next few years. I just don't think he's a game-changing player. I mean, they'll probably be picking higher than where were they at 10, 12 this year? Or they were at 12. They moved up 10. So they'll probably be picking higher than that because they're probably not going to be very good next year anyways. So maybe they'll get their game-changing player then. Sorry, Eagles fans, but I'll just say your organization is not looking up from here.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Devonta Smith, clearly very good at rock, paper, scissors. So you said, Ryan, the Giants probably were going to take Devonta Smith.
I think they would have.
And that's probably what prompted them to move back to 20 with the Bears. This is by far the biggest wall moment of the draft for us. We literally just went, oh my God, as we were looking at the TV.
I was looking right at the TV. I saw the graphic change, and I saw the Bears, and immediately I just screamed. I scared. If you watch a podcast, we do a podcast with the 3 of us. We also add a friend, Brandon. He comes and does it with us, so we came and watched the draft with us.
We all scared him. We were all screaming.
Yeah, we screamed, and he just
I was like, what just happened?
That was a crazy moment. And by the way, guess who predicted the Giants trade out for a quarterback whose name is Justin Fields? This guy right here. It just wasn't the Bears trading out.
All right, let's talk about the pick, because I feel like I'm a bit in the minority here. A lot of Bears fans super happy about Justin Fields, and I'm just going to get this off my chest now. It's not about Justin Fields being a bad quarterback. In fact, I think this was about the right value to get him at pick number 11. I think I had as my 15th ranked player in the draft. I had Mack Jones just a bit higher. If you were with us a long time in this channel, I went back and forth between the two of them. I decided between Mack Jones. My problem here is trading up from 20 to 11, getting rid of your first round pick next year so that a GM and a head coach that might not even be here next year can try and draft the future of this team and get rid of your picks for the future. That's where I get worried about it, because I feel like even if Justin Fields is good, he's not going to help us win enough games this year to keep both Nagy and Pace here. Then you're getting a new regime that, we're kind of doing the same thing. Get a new regime and hope they can adjust the quarterback. That I'm a bit iffy on. I think Justin Fields has a lot of potential to be very good. I'm excited that he's the Bears quarterback. Still thought it should have been Mack Jones. I was upset. Ryan and I
had
were
Mack
upset
Jones
for
higher, too.
on the field and off the field reasons for Mack Jones to be here. But excited to have Justin Fields. I know, Jordan, you were happy about it as well. At first, I was really iffy about it, and now I've started to adjust to it because Mack Jones and Justin Fields were both so close on my rankings. So I'm excited about it. We'll see how it goes. Jordan, your opinion. We'll take the longest one on this one because it's the biggest move, and Jordan and I are Bears fans.
Yeah, well, Tyler, everything you said makes sense, and it's true, and it's things to worry about for sure. And first of all, when I saw the Bears had traded up to this pick, first reaction was, what the heck just happened? And second of all was, oh my God, we're getting a quarterback. This is not what I expected to happen on April 29th of 2021. But
yeah, those 29s always start you off
right?
You never know what you're going to get.
Happen. As Ryan was looking at a picture of Justin Fields,
I was
on his phone with the Bears logo.
now
next
there's
to him.
pretty.
Oh, there is. But it's a move that I'm optimistic about. If you go to our Instagram, it'll be up there shortly. There's a video of us reacting to this pick. I just stood up and was clapping because this guy's
But
this guy's gonna be our franchise quarterback for the next few years now. I know those problems exist, and Tyler, that rationale makes sense. However, I trust Justin Fields more than these two guys. I trust his experience, I trust his abilities, and I trust his ability to progress as a player in the NFL. So I am really optimistic about Justin Fields, and I know this is deja vu here with the Trubisky thing. Oh, we're starting over, trading up to get a quarterback. This is going to be great. And then Trubisky, although I liked him, didn't work out the way we had hoped. It's a whole repeat of the scenario here with Justin Fields and all the optimism here in Chicago. But I don't care, even if it's going to end the same way. Right now, I'm in a position to be optimistic. This guy's going to be our quarterback, and let's hope he's going to be our franchise quarterback. I think he has the ability to be good enough to do that, and therefore I'm excited to see what he can do. Also, one last question, the rhetorical question, because really none of us can answer, is he going to start? That's the question.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely we're going to talk about that throughout the offseason. I'm sure we'll make a video addressing this, and we'll talk about it on our podcast as well. So we'll just leave it there for now if you want to hear more about this situation. Promise we'll make a video on this channel about it and talk about it more.
If you know me, come to talk to me. I would love to talk to you about it.
Yes. All right. So Justin Fields to the Bears. Then we got the next part of the trade. The Dallas Cowboys taking Micah Parsons seemed like a good move for them.
Yeah,
we'll keep
defense.
We'll keep moving quicker. Then Rashawn Slater fell to the Chargers. That was a huge steal for him.
Yeah.
We all thought.
Fell in their
laps. That was exciting. And then we saw another trade with the Jets, moving all the way up from what was that, pick number 23?
Slide.
Yeah, they moved from pick number 23 up to pick number 14 to pick Elijah Vera Tucker, who I really liked as well. I understand why they wanted him. It was a long way to go up for Elijah Vera Tucker. We thought it might have been a more of a skill type player, but Elijah Vera Tucker is going to be exciting to see with the Jets.
Protecting their new franchise quarterback. Nothing wrong with that, I guess.
Another big one now. We'll stop and talk about this one more. The New England Patriots select Mack Jones. It seemed like it was meant to be. What's Cam spelled backwards?
M-A-C, Mack. What do you know? And,
We got it, right?
Yeah, we did, yeah. And also, with Mack Jones, something that's been floating around, 3-letter first name, 5-letter last name, quarterback in New England. Where have we seen that before? I just love the player and team fit, and the fact that the Patriots had him fall into their laps and didn't have to move up for him.
Bill Belichick's got to be going like that.
Yeah, licking his chops over there. The dog must have loved it. I don't know if he was making the picks again this year in that kitchen table setting, but I think it's great. I think he fits that system well. I think he's used to playing under a culture that has championship aspirations and a winning history like he did at Alabama. Obviously, there's always the comparisons between Nick Saban and Bill Belichick, two of the best at what they do. So I think it's a great pick. I think Patriots fans should be excited, and I think, again, the fact that they did not have to trade up or get into the top 10 and potentially reach a little bit, he fell right into their laps. I think this is great. Patriots fans should be excited, and we'll see if it's him or Cam starting week 1.
Yeah, it's an interesting question for sure. And if you've been watching this channel, you know that I'm not particularly high on Mack Jones, but I feel like this is about the area that he should have gone. And I feel like this is the best fit for Mack Jones. Of course, he's that Tom Brady-esque player. But also, the Patriots just know how to work with a player like him. And I think he has the mental ability to excel with the New England Patriots under Belichick's very just football. He has a lot of knowledge in his mind, and that's knowledge that I think Mack Jones is smart enough to actually be able to intake and kind of use and help his team. So I think that'll be really good for them. Love the fit, and I, as I said, wasn't crazy high in Mack Jones, but this is where he should have gone. I'm excited to see what it is, and I said it during and after. This is a legendary thing. Patriots, I think, are moving on at quarterback now, and people thought it was going to be Cam who was going to be the permanent solution. I never did. But so it'd also be interesting to see.
Did any of us really think it'd be
Cam
a
Newton
permanent
trying-
solution?
What?
I don't think any of us thought it would be a
Well,
permanent
I mean,
solution.
some people might have, but
At least here.
but now it's going to be two different quarterbacks. There's that pocket passer, and then there's
They're
Cam
polar
Newton.
opposite
So
quarterbacks.
it'll be a fun thing to watch through the off season and into the regular season.
It's kind of one where you go with destiny. It's kind of like deja vu. I think you said it, Jordan. It's just,
Not about this, but
well, I think even then it's like you're seeing
yeah,
it all
of
over,
course.
happen all over again. There's even the video of Bill Belichick walking in side by side with Mack Jones.
and
walking.
the pictures of both of them with their shirts off.
Yeah.
And they're
All right.
rocking hot bods.
Let's move on to pick number 16, Zaven Collins to the Arizona Cardinals. This was one I wasn't shocked by, considering that their favorite player, Jalen Waddle, was already gone at 6. We're just assuming that would be the case. There was some reports. I think Peter Schrager mocked this one as well. So it wasn't absolutely surprising, but one that maybe people didn't expect, so we just won't spend too much time on it because we're going to spend some time on the Las Vegas Raiders doing what the Raiders do best in reaching for some players in the first round. This
I don't
time,
know why you guys are surprised.
Yeah, well, we
on
got to
this
tell
one.
them what we did. So before the Raiders picks, Jordan, I was talking to Jordan. We talked about 3 players that could be realistic options here and that we would consider. We said, who we say? We said Kwity Paye.
Yep.
We said JOK and then Jalen Phillips, right? And then we said, okay, those are 3 guys that we would heavily consider taking. And then
So
I think,
who are they?
and
So
then
that's
you
who they're
said
not going to take.
they're not going to take those guys.
So
then.
who else is available?
So eliminate
besides these
those
guys?
3 guys because
then we went, who else is available? Maybe Jamin Davis, who I
Yeah.
had mocked.
But what we should have done is just really eliminated everyone in our mock draft
Yeah.
throughout the whole
No
first
one in
round.
your top 50 allowed.
Just get out of there.
Alex Leatherwood is actually
And then
in
they
my
insert-
top 50.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
they
you
drafted
get the
Alex
point.
Leatherwood. There's a high upside to Alex Leatherwood. I don't think they had the highest need at this position, but they went with it anyways, and it's the Raiders.
Yeah,
So
I, mean,
I think
with
Raiders fans.
Christian Darrisaw was still right there. I
Yeah.
think he was
My
a player. who
reaction
deserved
was
to take it.
shocked, but I mean,
I was laughing.
yeah.
I mean, I can
We
see
have video of
I
that
can
one,
see
too.
the need for a tackle, but I mean, we've seen tackles that were taken higher than
And
expected.
we almost
that have
didn't
actually
video
panned
this one
out.
too. I think.
Yeah, I told Tyler.
I got it at the
last
second.
second. I turned to Tyler. I'm like, Tyler, this is the Raiders. You should probably get this, and we did. Which again, we'll have some reactions to picks coming out on our Instagram.
We
in
thought
coming
maybe this
days.
would be the year the Raiders just went with the
Yeah.
a
And
safe,
especially because the
normal
edge rushers fell. Like I turned to you.
We're about to
I
get
turned
it.
to you at one point, and I was like, edge rushers exist. We almost kind of forgot about it for a little bit.
Yeah, let's move on to that edge rusher, Jalen Phillips, staying in Miami with the Miami Dolphins. That was the first edge rusher off the board and a fun one to see.
That's a good need for them. Dolphins looking hot next year.
Absolutely. Not my number 1 edge rusher, but certainly a very solid number 2 edge rusher for me. I think it's a great fit, a great pick, right about where he should have gone. I actually think he should have gone a little higher now that I think about it. But getting Jalen Phillips, I like the pick. I feel stronger about the second round pick the second pick of the night than I do about Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins.
Me too.
The second Jalen.
All right, let's move on to
Yeah.
Washington football team continuing to build up that defense. Now adding linebacker Jamin Davis, who I loved, my second ranked linebacker in the draft. Obviously they were high on him as well. Maybe a lot of people didn't expect that to be the exact pick. All the quarterbacks were gone at that point, at least the top 5 of them. So that's where they went with it. Then we had the second half of the trade, the New York Giants selecting Cadarius Toney.
Love it.
And that's perfect for them. I feel like they probably would have done that at 11 anyways if they were looking for a receiver. I mean, you got to love Cadarius Toney being with the Giants.
Yeah, I think that Rashad Bateman is better than Toney. I sky high on Rashad Bateman. I think the team that got him got an absolute steal. We'll get to him in a second. But I think it's good for the Giants because now you have Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney, a healthy Saquon. I mean, Daniel Jones has no excuses now. I think it's his time to finally tell that organization if he's the answer or not.
All right, let's move on. Indianapolis Colts, Kwity Paye. Ryan, I'm
Oh.
just going to go to you because you loved Kwity Paye, but you do not love the Indianapolis Colts because you're the Texans fan and
Yes.
the Colts are their rival, obviously.
First of all, the first part, I do love Kwity Paye. He blew me away on tape. He's the 5th player on my big board. So certainly great pick for the Colts. They've drafted well in the past. They have a championship level roster. And when it got to them, we were all kind of looking at each other saying, uh-oh, Kwity Paye, one of my favorite, I think actually one of, if not my favorite guy in the draft could be going to my rival team. And look, I have a lot of respect for the Colts organization. I've been to their stadium and their city a lot as a Texans fan. I've been going to a lot of Texans at Colts games.
He
Great
said this during
stadium.
it. Like if he was a player, he would love to be drafted.
Yeah, and I would. It's a great. The fans there are nice. The stadium's cool. The city's cool.
And they're
Just
a good team
a
right
great
now.
place to be. There's some nice steakhouses in Indianapolis. The whole city's like everything's really close to each other, which is nice. Like sorry, I know I'm taking too much time, but
That's fine.
there's from my hotel that we usually stay at. Like there's inside things you could walk through the convention center and then go into the stadium without going outside at all, which is especially nice when they're playing in December. But anyway, love the player, don't like the team. As a Texans fan, it'll hurt. I just have visions of my favorite guy from the 2021 draft, the guy I had 5th on my board that fell to
Sacking
21st.
what quarterback?
Good question. I don't know.
I forgot about Deshaun Watson, to be honest.
Yeah, sacking Tyrod
Now-
Taylor or Ryan Finley.
Now we got a new quarterback
yeah.
issue to worry about, which
Yeah.
we'll get to in a couple picks.
So love the pick, love the player. Just sucks that my team's gonna have to face him twice a year.
All right, let's move on to Tennessee Titans, picking Caleb Farley. This is a good one. He fell because of the injuries that we had seen from him. Was not able
Locked
to
it.
be at the draft.
Me too.
So Titans getting Caleb Farley. Then the Vikings from the trade with the Jets getting Christian Darrisaw. That was a great pick for them,
Nice
trading
pick.
back and still getting offensive
I
linemen.
mean,
With Pagon. I
Dalvin
like it.
Cook, number 1 overall in fantasy drafts next year. Watch out for that.
Yeah, Christian Darrisaw definitely helps out with that. 24 Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people mocked it, including Ryan and myself. Najee
pick.
Harris.
Good
Yeah,
pick.
love it. I mean, I very rarely do you feel confident when you get this late in the NFL draft because then there's a bunch of wild cards, there's guys that we barely have even heard of that are picked in a little bit. But I like the pick. I think that when it comes to running backs in the first round, you have to have a legit need at the position, which a certain team did not, that we'll talk about very soon, actually. The Steelers had a clear need at the position. The rushing attack was not there. Now James Conner is gone. And you get Najee Harris there, big physical runner. I think he fits that organization well, and he's the missing piece of that offense. And honestly, when you look at why that team was just a playoff team and not a true Super Bowl contender, you could point to the lack of a rushing attack as why.
Absolutely. I liked him so much that I had him actually off the board already at 18. I think it was 18 to the Dolphins, and so Najee Harris going to the Steelers.
I had him
with
at
this one.
17 on my board. It's just the fact that he's a running back that hurts his stock a little.
So that's
I might have had him
That
actually
is
right at
just
24. I can't
a
remember.
beautiful pick, and having flashbacks right
Let's
now
move
to when
on.
they picked him, and I
Yeah.
saw the film of him hurdling someone.
Moving
Even though
on
I've seen that
to
before.
another running back, maybe not as beautiful pick as Najee Harris. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars selecting Travis Etienne.
Okay.
This was one of the other ones where you just go, I mean, Travis Etienne's a good player, don't get me wrong.
he's good,
But it's like, wait,
Why?
What? You just did that? Because
Yeah.
you have James Robinson.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Robinson.
No, you're right.
I almost said
It's like the
James
one
Conner.
position they
You
might
have
not
James
have a
Robinson.
need at.
And I mean, they could have gone anywhere else. There's still players on the board here, but clearly they love Travis Etienne. Pairing him back up with the Trevor Lawrence, I guess, is a nice thing to see. But it was just like okay.
Yeah.
good
Well, here's
player.
the thing.
Yeah, we got to spend some
Here's
time
my
on this. Go
here's
ahead.
my way of looking at it. The Jaguars kind of have an overhaul at their up people in the organization,
Yeah.
so maybe they just were like, James Robinson's not our guy. Let's get our running back. I'm sure he'll be
Well, why would
playing.
you not?
They'll do a tandem thing, but it doesn't mean I like the move. Now I'm excited to see what that's going to look like because reuniting him with Trevor Lawrence should be fun, and seeing what James Robinson can do as a 1-2 punch back there with Etienne. But
Yeah.
as Ryan said, you didn't need that. There's other needs, and it was just kind of frustrating to see it. But I mean, I'll watch the game and enjoy watching Etienne play with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
So,
it'll be
He's very
interesting. Yeah,
talented.
it'll be
It's
interesting.
just-
He's a talented player, good pass catcher. I get, when they say like the teammates part of it, that's cool and all, but when it's like a quarterback and a receiver from the same team, like I get it because then there's a lot of chemistry there, but I don't know how much chemistry there needs to be
They'll
for
be
a
throwing
quarterback
it
and a
to
running
him a
back. Yeah, but a lot of it it's just like screens. But I get it. I think the teammate part is cool. Honestly, I'm sure Jacksonville has been talking to Trevor Lawrence for weeks now. I really think that they gave him the playbook and stuff before the draft. So they probably asked Trevor Lawrence about some types of players that he liked, and maybe he mentioned Etienne. So I get it. I just don't think it's a need. And Travis Etienne was my 4th ranked running back, so a bit of a reach, but we'll see if it pans out for the Jaguars.
All right, Cleveland Browns next, selecting another cornerback that struggles with tackling. Even Joe Klatt said that he was good at tackling. That's not what Ryan and I saw.
Yeah,
on
I
film.
don't think so.
Greg Newsome Jr. going to the Browns. I like the pick actually, though.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tyler, I think you mentioned this when he was drafted. Good cover corner, which he is.
Great cover.
Yeah,
corner.
not the biggest size guy, but certainly someone who's fast enough to keep up with some speedy receivers. And I mean, the Browns, they're on the rise. I mean, really, you look at the guys that you look at Greg Newsome, who they got. You look at the guys that they've brought in free agency. They got 2 guys from the Rams.
they got 2 corners.
No, one of
one
them
corner.
John Johnson's a safety.
But 2 secondary people, and adding another secondary right now with this draft, I don't feel like that was the need they should have addressed, but it's definitely one that's going to help the team.
Yeah,
I think they should have gone tackle.
I thought they were
linebacker,
going to go Christian
defensive tackle,
Barmore
I
here,
should say,
just because they cut Sheldon Richardson, but I guess not.
All right, Baltimore Ravens. Ryan steal the draft here. Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Ravens. I'll let you talk about that one quickly.
Yeah, I think this is a great pick for the Ravens. I had Bateman as my number 1 receiver, 6th on my big board. Just loved him. I think he's so NFL ready. I think he's going to translate fantastic to the league. He's going to make an instant impact. I really don't know what else to say. He blew me away. I think that for the Ravens, they finally get that guy for Lamar Jackson. There's all the memes about Lamar being a running back and them having no receivers. Sammy Watkins, you see, okay, yeah, nice, but does he really have that number one receiver potential? Bateman does. This is an absolute steal. Ravens fans should be ecstatic from the reactions I've seen. I think they are.
We'll see
they
how many
should
passes
be.
he gets.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that too. But Lamar Jackson and Ravens fans should be thrilled. You got an absolute steal, an NFL-ready guy who checks all the boxes. I'm glad he didn't go to one of my rival teams, Baltimore, get hyped.
They got their two speed guys, Brown and Watkins, and now they got in between and Bateman. So
Yeah, Bateman's
next
awesome.
up was the Saints. We were going, okay, cornerback Asante Samuel still on the board. Nope. Peyton Turner, who I've watched, I don't know, I haven't counted, but like 100 to 150 players in this year's draft class. Not as good as last year.
Everyone who was watching this with us in our room said, "Who?"
Yeah.
Even me. They looked at me because they know I've watched the most draft prospects.
Yeah.
It was a name I have heard before, but it was like, sorry guys, I haven't watched him either.
And no disrespect to him. That's
No, we don't even
you can only watch. You can only watch so many
just
players.
say we haven't watched him.
Yes,
we'll see about that.
As far as the position,
Surprise.
edge rush. I was thinking more linebacker or corner, but if just based on their big board, this is the direction that told them that they were told to go based on the big board. I get it.
Just took someone's fifth-year option off, I think. Too.
Well, keep in mind also losing
at
Trey
the edge
Hendrickson.
rushing position. I'm forgetting
Also
who it
losing
is.
Trey,
but
that's a
That's a
factor.
big role.
Yeah, so a surprise
to fill.
pick, but hey, no disrespect to Peyton.
All right, Packers. I mean, you already upset Aaron Rodgers enough. Let's just upset him more and pick Eric Stokes.
It's not like even before the whole Aaron Rodgers drama, I really think it makes sense to take as a center, Landon Dickerson specifically, who is still there,
A lineman
or a receiver. Like it's not even about the Rodgers drama that started.
I
to
know
unfold
Kevin
the day of
King
the draft.
sucks, but you still have Jair Alexander, who's one of the better corners in the league right now. I mean, it's a position you could address, but there was other stuff, and with Aaron Rodgers as fumey as apparently he is right now, that might not have been the smartest move, although I don't think he's going anywhere.
They have to get a receiver. When's this coming
Soon.
out? Today.
They better trade up.
Yes, today. They have to get a receiver today, whether it's Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, Terrace Marshall, somebody. Honestly, because if they go the whole draft without getting a receiver again, that's just unacceptable. If they get it in the second and third round,
if they
then
do that,
say,
I'll
okay.
go to Green Bay and help Aaron Rodgers get out of there.
But we could just play wide receiver for him. All right, let's move on.
Oh, you don't. Actually,
Next pick, the Buffalo Bills. We'll just breeze through these last three because we can. Gregory Rousseau going to the Bills. They were just going best player available.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that when they
they
were
could have gone a plethora of ways.
very raw prospect, but with time, I think he can become pretty good.
Got up in this last year, so I mean.
Yeah,
he
well,
didn't really do
Rousseau,
much,
I
so.
think he played a little bit inside at Miami. I mean, he was more effective on the edge, but he has experience playing at different spots on the line, but also an opt-out, so something to note.
Ravens with their second pick in the first round, going with Jason Owe.
Not bad. Edge rusher, me and Ryan had Aziz going. He had Aziz at this pick. I had Aziz at the earlier pick. When edge rusher, just
my sixth ranked edge rusher, I think he's a little raw. Has to get stronger. Has to find more ways to beat defenders. But the speed and athleticism are there. I'm sure that's something Baltimore will like as they try and fill the void that Matt Judon created when he left to go to New England. So a little high. I had a second round grade on him, but not terrible, especially at the back end of the first round.
Last pick of the first round, Tampa Bay Bucks, the Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay Bucks, as Rodgers said. Going with Joe Tryon, I felt like that was a good way to cap off the first round. I'm not sure if you watched him or not.
I thought it was a great way to cap off the first round.
Yeah,
But,
that's for a different reason, which you can get into in a second. But I'm just going to talk about Joe Tryon as a player right now. I mean, we had seen him sneaking into more of these first-round mocks. It was for good reasons. Very talented, physically gifted, gets around the field quickly. So I feel like Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be very happy with this one. Probably a guy they were looking to target at number 32. So I'm glad, and Ryan, please explain your story, then we'll wrap up the video.
All I got to say is Pac-12 players selected, 2.5, over.
Let's stop it right there. That's the end of the video. So first round of the draft is done. We've been talking about this.
Can I say one more line
at
here?
This point, yes, quickly.
I'd just like to say I have my trust in Justin Fields, and I'm excited for this journey that's upcoming.
I'm excited for
We love you, Justin Fields. We love you, Justin Fields.
We hope you are good. But I'm questioning.
I know he's got the
questioning the management, not Justin Fields, on that pick. That's the first round of the draft. We've been talking about it for months. It finally happened. We were shaking in our shoes, getting ready for this draft to happen. I'm sure you guys were as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the draft. We'll talk more post-draft stuff once we get more into this type of the draft getting over and getting more into the offseason. We'll talk about it more and more. So stick along with us on this journey in the channel. So subscribe to our channel, the notification bell, comment down below. What you thought about the first round?
Thanks for sticking with us for this draft.
Yes. Comment, like I said. Go check out our Instagram and our podcast. And with that, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.